Bruce Willis was never just another action star who stumbled into the right roles at the right time. He transformed the very idea of what a cinematic hero could be. Long before Caped Crusaders dominated the box office, Willis showed audiences that bravery could look battered, frightened, sarcastic, and stubbornly determined. In films like Die Hard, Pulp Fiction, Armageddon, and The Sixth Sense, he portrayed men who were flawed and vulnerable, yet unwilling to surrender. That refusal to quit became his trademark. But behind the explosions and one-liners was a deeply human story shaped by instability, persistence, love, and ultimately profound vulnerability. As his time in front of the camera has come to a close due to illness, the legacy he leaves behind extends far beyond ticket sales. It is emotional, personal, and enduring, a reminder that strength often hides within imperfection. A childhood forged in uncertainty, Bruce Willis was born on March 19, 1955, in Idar Oberstein, West Germany, into a world still recovering from World War II. His father was an American soldier, and his mother was German, raising a young family amid lingering economic and social instability. When Bruce was 2, the family relocated to Carneys Point, New Jersey, hoping for opportunity. Instead, they encountered financial strain and emotional tension. The small home they shared often felt crowded with stress. Factory smoke clouded the town's skyline, and arguments filled the air inside their walls. Eventually, his father left, forcing the young boy to mature far earlier than he should have. As the eldest of 4 children, Bruce absorbed responsibility quietly. Childhood became less about innocence and more about endurance, shaping a resilience that would define both his life and career. Growing up too fast. With his father gone, Bruce stepped into a role no child should have to play. He became protector, mediator, and silent observer within his family. He learned to sense conflict before it erupted and to shield his younger siblings from its worst effects. Yet beneath that early maturity lay a private struggle. Bruce had a severe stutter that made everyday conversation a source of anxiety. Words felt like obstacles. Class presentations and simple interactions became ordeals filled with embarrassment and frustration. The more he struggled, the quieter he became. Silence wrapped around him like armor. But that silence also stored emotion, fear, anger, and longing that had nowhere to go. Those early years taught him emotional control and observation. He learned to read people carefully, to anticipate reactions, and to adapt quickly. Without knowing it, he was preparing for a profession built entirely on understanding human behavior, discovering freedom on stage. At 17, something remarkable happened. Bruce joined a high school theater production and stepped beneath stage lights for the first time. Miraculously, his stutter disappeared while performing. Lines flowed naturally, and fear dissolved into confidence. Acting offered him liberation. On stage, he could express feelings he had long suppressed. The theater became a sanctuary where vulnerability transformed into power. It was not simply a hobby, it was a revelation. For the first time, he felt in control of his voice and identity. That discovery changed everything. Acting no longer felt like an option, it felt necessary. The stage gave him belonging and direction during years otherwise marked by uncertainty. From that moment forward, he carried a quiet conviction that this was his path. Whatever hardships lay ahead, he had found something that made him feel whole, and he refused to let it slip away. New York, dreams, and harsh realities. In 1973, Willis left New Jersey for New York City with little money and enormous determination. The city was unforgiving. He briefly enrolled in drama classes but soon realized survival required immediate income. He dropped out and worked wherever he could. Security jobs, factory shifts, driving work, anything that paid rent. Winters were brutal, apartments sparse, and hope sometimes thin. Yet even in struggle, he observed relentlessly. Every crowded subway and late-night diner offered characters to study. The hardships strengthened his resolve rather than weakening it. He refused to romanticize the grind. It was exhausting and uncertain, but within that uncertainty, he sensed growth. The city sharpened his instincts and toughened his patience. He learned that talent alone was insufficient. Endurance mattered just as much. Those early New York years quietly built the foundation for the resilience audiences would one day admire on screen. The bartender who was always performing behind the bar at Manhattan clubs, Bruce discovered another training ground. Bartending was more than a paycheck. It was an unofficial stage. He entertained customers with quick humor, playful sarcasm, and harmonica riffs. He learned timing, when to speak, when to pause, when to deliver a punchline. Each night provided instant feedback. If a joke failed, he adjusted. If a crowd warmed to him, he amplified that energy. These experiences honed his charisma and confidence. Meanwhile, auditions often ended in rejection. Casting directors overlooked him, uncertain how to categorize his unconventional presence. Yet he persisted. The bar allowed him to refine the qualities that would later define his performances: relatability, wit, and grounded intensity. Without realizing it, he was developing the everyman charm that would soon revolutionize television and film. The bartender was rehearsing for something far bigger. Breakthrough with moonlighting. In 1985, Willis auditioned for the television series Moonlighting. Producers initially sought a more traditional leading man, but Bruce's unpredictable energy shifted the room. He infused humor and spontaneity into the role, transforming it into something electric. When the show premiered, audiences responded immediately. His chemistry with co-star Sybil Shepherd crackled, and his fast-talking style felt fresh. Overnight, he became a household name. The success of Moonlighting proved he could carry a project and captivate viewers. More importantly, it demonstrated that audiences were ready for a different kind of leading man, one who felt authentic rather than polished. Television stardom opened doors to film, setting the stage for a gamble that would permanently alter Hollywood's action genre. Redefining the action hero in Die Hard. When Willis was cast in Die Hard, skepticism was widespread. He did not resemble the muscular action icons dominating the era. Yet his portrayal of John McClane changed cinematic heroism. He played the character as vulnerable, bleeding, frightened, and sarcastic under pressure. McClane limped, argued, and doubted himself, but he refused to give up. Audiences connected with that humanity. The film became a massive hit, redefining expectations for action leads. Willis proved that courage did not require invincibility. His everyman authenticity resonated deeply, influencing countless films that followed. In one role, he dismantled the myth of the untouchable hero and replaced it with something more relatable. Hollywood took notice, and Willis transitioned from television favorite to international film star almost instantly. Love, family, and life beyond fame. Amid fame, Willis sought grounding in family life. His marriage to Demi Moore brought both glamour and genuine partnership. Together, they raised 3 daughters and prioritized co-parenting even after their separation in 2000. Unlike many Hollywood splits, theirs evolved into lasting friendship and mutual respect. Later, his marriage to Emma Hemming Willis added renewed stability. Fatherhood remained central to his identity. He often described it as his most meaningful role. Despite demanding schedules, he valued shared holidays, laughter, and ordinary moments. Success never erased his desire for connection. If anything, it intensified it. Having grown up in instability, he worked tirelessly to provide emotional security for his children, proving that behind the action hero persona stood a deeply devoted father. Illness, courage, and enduring legacy. In 2022, Willis's family revealed he had been diagnosed with aphasia, later clarified as frontotemporal dementia. The announcement marked the end of his acting career. For a performer whose voice once symbolized resilience, the diagnosis felt painfully ironic. Yet his family responded with unity and transparency. Surrounded by Emma, Demi, and his daughters, Willis shifted from cinematic battles to a quieter demonstration of courage, accepting care with grace. Even as language faded, presence remained. His estimated $250 million fortune pales beside the cultural and emotional impact he leaves behind. Bruce Willis reshaped heroism, showing that strength includes vulnerability. Off-screen, he modeled devotion, humility, and perseverance. Long after credits roll, his legacy endures, not in explosions or box office records, but in the humanity he brought to every role and every chapter of his life.